Moments ago, I sat down with former President Trump for a wide-ranging interview, telling me things that he has never told anyone in an interview before.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Enjoy.
This the one. I was trying to figure out this interview, what it was.
Mr. President, first, I would like to say a belated congratulations for retiring Joe Biden, at least from the campaign. And now the polls are coming out for his replacement after a whirlwind positive press for Kamala Harris. But the Real Clear Politics average shows you up at about 1.75%, 7% over her. But before the debate, Biden was 1.5 points behind. So you've actually slightly grown your lead on the national poll.
Okay.
So how do you keep Republicans positive and not buying into kind of the negative publicity that they're seeing?
I think she's a worse candidate than him.
Yes.
She's far more radical left.
Yes.
She is younger. I mean, she's 60 years old. A lot of people, I didn't realize she was 60. I thought she was a little younger.
Me too.
But she's 60. She is talking a big game, but her game is pretty bad. I mean, she was the border czar. She's trying to pretend that she wasn't. You know, it's an amazing thing that's happened too, because we did a long time ago.
It's an evolution, Mr. President. That yes, she was more progressive in 2020, but that she's moved to the middle on a number of these issues, and they're making a concerted effort to show kind of a new Kamala 2.0.
In politics, when you start off saying something, that's where you are. And she was for defund the police. She was for open borders. She was for having anybody come in. Now I notice that they're actually saying they want to have immunity for everybody that came into the country. And they want to have citizenship.
She said that, and she said that she knows that she assumes Kamala Harris would support that. That means citizenship for 10 million, 15 million,
or
20 million?
Yeah, or 20 million.
What would that do to the country?
Destroy the country. It's already... I mean, it's in such bad shape. Our country has never been in a position like this, in addition to which we could end up in a third world war, okay?
Right,
but
and that's
we
scary.
have 20 million people that have come into the country. I would say by now it's 20, is probably going over that number. We have another 4 months to go, but really it's another 5 months, 5.5 months to go.
Yeah.
So that number is going to increase very substantially. They're pouring in, and they're coming from prisons. They're coming from mental institutions, insane asylums. I always say that's a step above a mental institution.
Right.
And we have a record number of terrorists coming into our country, and only bad things are going to happen.
Yes,
nothing good is going to come out of it.
He's right.
Big news today is President Biden announcing reforms to the Supreme Court, which include not allowing immunity for presidents, and also new ethics rules. Now, a lot of us who used to clerk at the court believe that that's just a naked attempt to start knocking off conservative justices.
It is.
They didn't even consult Dick Durbin or the Senate Judiciary Committee on any aspect of this. What does this mean to you, what Biden is?
Well, it's a typical Biden con. He doesn't want to give up immunity, because if he didn't have immunity, look at all the things he did. The $3.5 million from Russia, all the money he's taken in from China, all of the bad things and the evil things he's done, not to mention that thousands of people killed in the border. Look at the Afghanistan pullout with the worst, most embarrassing day in the history of our country. All of the things he's done that are so bad, he desperately wants immunity. There's no way he would write off immunity for a president.
But this is a really upending of our constitutional structure.
He's doing that.
And a common criticism of you from the left is he's the chaos candidate. He's the chaos former president.
Just the opposite.
Yeah.
And so what does that do to separation of powers if the executive branch can come along and say, oh, no, even though we have constitutional provisions governing the court, that we're just going to do this, or this is what we stand for?
It's going nowhere. They need 75%, and it's going nowhere. He can't get it. He knows that, too. It's just, I think, look.
Is it a bone
They
to the left,
staged a coup against the President of the United States. They went in and they told him, you're leaving. You're way down in the polls, 17 points, I think.
Yep.
You know, it's like you're in a fight with somebody, and you're really winning, and they take him out and they put somebody else in.
Exactly.
Right.
Nobody ever heard of this before.
Right.
This is a coup. They took him. They said, even though you got 14 million votes, you're out. And he said, I'm not going out.
But you're saying that's what they're kind of doing with the court as well?
No, what they're doing is they took him out. He was losing badly. They took him out.
Yep.
He wants something to say. He's sitting there with nothing to do, nobody to talk to. They threw him out. This was a coup, the first one, of the President of the United States.
Harris endorsed this
They said you're leaving.
proposal. She endorsed this Supreme
she
Court
did.
proposal.
She's a radical
Every 2
left.
years, this is going to change justice.
Well, they're also, the one thing you didn't say, they want to pack the court. What they really want to do more than any of it is pack the court. They want to put in, so I've heard as many as 27. They've gotten up to 27.
That's not in this proposal, but this is a response to their losing on a number of high-profile cases. I mean, not every case has gone your way or Republicans' ways. Did Republicans ever put forward a series of these types of radical proposals? I don't recall.
They haven't tended to, and we've been behind also. We've been behind in justices, and they don't do this. Actually, FDR did it a long time ago, which was interesting, but it hasn't really happened like this. It's never going to happen. I'll tell you, if I'm president, it doesn't happen. We keep it the way it is, and it's been working very well for a long period of time. I mean, basically, they want to create another Congress. They want to have so many people. Let's just go to another Congress.
I haven't seen you since the assassination attempt on your life. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I feel good.
New information keeps coming out about how this could have occurred, including text messages among some of the local law enforcement, the SWAT teams that were in place. And most recently, we found out that a local SWAT team member actually spotted Crooks 90 minutes before that first shot went off.
Yes.
And they kept tracking him. They even saw him at one point, maybe 45 minutes before, half hour before the shot was fired, with the rangefinder pointing it toward the roof. What's your reaction to this?
Look, I can tell you this. Once the bullets started coming at me, and I got very lucky, I have to attribute it to God.
Amen.
Because
you sure do.
if I didn't turn to the right, and there was no reason to turn to the right except I dropped a big sign on what a great job I'm doing on immigration, right? So the sign's coming down, and I go like this, and it went phew. If I didn't, I wouldn't be talking to you.
You shouldn't have been
right
on
now.
that stage.
That's right.
You shouldn't have been allowed to get on that stage.
But I just want to say one thing about Secret Service. They were very brave because they were coming, bullets were flying over me because I went down, bullets were flying, and they were on top of me. I had a lot of people on top of me, a lot of very big, strong people on top of me.
Come brag.
And they were very brave. I have to say that. Okay, with that being said, should have been somebody on the roof. There should have been communication with the local police, which there wasn't, so that's a bad thing. And they were seeing this guy who was a very disturbed person, and they were seeing him around. I mean, it's like, how about the people, the Trump fans, the Trumpsters, the woman in the red shirt that was screaming, he's got a gun, that guy's got a gun.
But this information, Mr. President, demonstrates via text messages in real time that they spotted this individual. The local SWAT team member spotted him. They lost track of him. They saw him again, but then we find out there was no pre-planning done between the Secret Service and the local SWAT teams, which is common, which is customary, in addition to the drone flying ahead.
Actually, worse, there was no communication. So they didn't speak to each other. They actually didn't speak. That just came out. Look, it's a terrible thing. Should have been somebody up there. Now, the Secret Service shooter, the Secret Service sniper, it was amazing what he did with one bullet. He took him out, and that was an amazing shot he made. I heard it was like an incredible shot, much further away. It would have been good if it was 9 seconds sooner.
Right.
You know, we lost one great person and two people were very badly hurt, and now they're doing okay, and we're in communication with them. They're doing pretty good. They're doing very good. I thought they were going to die. I thought both of them were going to die also.
But you agreed to an interview with the FBI as it's called a victim's interview in a situation.
They're coming in on Thursday to see me. And I thought I would. I'm so disappointed. You know, if you took a poll of the FBI, I bet I get 95%, but not at the top level, not at the people, the
Why
political people.
Why do people not trust the upper echelon of the FBI at this point?
Well, they've had a bad period of time. I mean, they raided Mar-a-Lago. That's not so good. And I guess we bring a suit. You know, we won that whole case, and we won it the right way. We won it because we won it. We won it in court. It was a big thing. Hardly got any publicity. All they did is talk about the documents. I was allowed the Presidential Records Act, but we won the case, and the press hardly reports it. Now, with Biden, he really was convicted of that case. He was let go of that case. And by the way, you're talking about many more, and he didn't have Presidential Records Act. Just one thing, Laura. They said he was incompetent, and therefore he can't stand trial, and yet he would have been allowed to be president. Think of that.
Exactly.
So he sort of semi-won it. Of course, you don't want to have that kind of a victory. You win because you're incompetent. But he actually was guilty.
What was Melania's reaction, if you don't mind my asking? I know this is very personal, when she learned about what happened on that field in Butler?
She was watching.
Oh, she was watching in real
She
time.
was watching live.
Oh,
It was
my
all over the
gosh.
place. It was on television. It was
Wow.
on your network.
Wow.
But it was all over the place. And she was watching.
Ooh, her
I
heart
asked her
probably
that.
was
I mean, I
racing.
wasn't there. I was on the ground. And when the world started to, like, you could talk to people, I said, so what was you feeling? And she was, she can't really even talk about it.
Traumatized.
Which is okay, because that means she likes me.
I
I mean, let's say she could talk about it freely. That wouldn't be, I'm not so sure which is better. But she either likes or loves me, and that's nice. But I will say this, look, she was, when I went down, she thought the worst had happened because I
Yeah.
went down. And I grabbed my, and I saw it was, my hand was loaded up with blood. You see it in slow motion, instant replay. You know, we had hundreds of press there.
Which ear was it? Was it this one or the other one?
I think it's that one.
It
I
is?
think it's that one. Because if you yeah, it's that one. Because if you look at his face and you see if he turns that way, then it has to be this ear that's facing us.
How did they get it back intact? Like,
I mean, I don't know.
I wonder how they did that. And how,
Was it plastic? Well, could be plastic surgery.
Yeah, possible. It must so because that's the one part they haven't
Because
talked
that's
about.
his. Wait a minute, which ear is that?
Because he was standing
That's
on
his
stage.
right ear. So no, it's the other ear.
It must be that side.
Yeah, I think it's the other ear now.
And they may have that side, and that's why they probably had the camera facing that side, not the other.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I think it may be the other ear.
So this was covered live. They would have had instant replay and everything else, which they already do in this. But supposing the worst happened, you know, one man, Corey, was killed, hit
Compared to
horribly,
amazing man.
horribly in the head. And you know, to guard, he was guarding his family.
That's why
Two
how
daughters
important
and
it
his-
is to get to the bottom of why this
Oh,
was
it's very
allowed to
important.
occur. I mean,
No,
he
no,
died.
no, he died.
You almost died.
He died instantly. Instantly, he was dead immediately.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey,
Wow.
click here.
No, I mean, his demeanor is still to me a little different. But I want to say
Yes, it's not as.
real quick that even just listening to him say some of the things that he said, you know, about Biden being convicted, it's just a mess how things have transpired and how we are able to do these things in our government, and it's okay. It's not okay, but they've been able to get away with it. He's like, of course Biden is going to ask for immunity. Well, of course he is. Of course he is. They say he was competent to stand, and now he ain't competent. I mean, please. But anyway.
They say he taller too now. You seen that?
That's them shoes they done gave him, the medical shoes, so he can be more balanced. But go to the beach.
They about that
Ain't nothing. That's when he was a lot of time doing his presidency on vacation. Go to the beach. There's nowhere else for you to do. I mean, your job is done. Go to the beach. Clear out.
Dan Bongino said he go out there, he tan them nuts.
Clear out the White House and go to the beach. Nothing else to do, boo.
He said he
what
got
do you
nothing
think?
else to do. He got no else to talk to.
Well, I
That's
mean,
it.
what do you think about some of the things that he was saying? So now they're just going to try to pass this, like he said. They can't do that. And it's just like all of a sudden you're just going to go ahead and shuffle this in, just like you shuffled her in. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this in.
Exactly.
You know, this is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
This is, that this is happening in our country.
In our lifetime.
Wow. I would never think that I would ever be having this discussion, that I would ever be feeling the way that I'm feeling, seeing the things that I'm seeing from people from other countries burning our flags, from people in our country burning our flags, to what we just saw at the Olympics, to how they slid
And you
a
see
new
what's going
person.
on-
I mean,
see what's going on in Venezuela with the Venezuelan president. So that he's creating a fraud. He created a fraud election. I mean, he made it where people couldn't go and vote against him. He had security, all them going in so they couldn't vote against him. And then they start rioting and stuff like that. He got himself voted back in. People start cutting up food.
Oh,
and I started
my
thinking for
gosh.
myself, like, okay, if they're doing that over there, it's just a matter of time before our system were to crack and break enough to where this is our reality.
I hope not. We definitely don't want anything like that. And that is why we have to continue to support those people who we know and who has proven, not just because, this person is this and this person is that. It's because the proof is there. We have seen the statistics, the track record. You hear what the people say from their own mouths, the lifestyle they were living when he was in office, their family. I saw one video on Twitter. This man was just really going off. It was a black guy. He was snapping. And he said all of his family, mama, brother, sister, or mama and two brothers, it was on X, had to move out of their house because it was too expensive. And now they all living in apartments. So he said, please don't vote that way. Don't vote left. He said, y'all are being fooled. But how are you being fooled when the information is out there? How are you being fooled when the information is out there?
Because when you plan on identity politics, you're not giving everybody the stuff that really affects them. Just being black skinned, that ain't enough. Okay. All right, man.
Well, y'all, that was good. I think he's more cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah. All right. 2024 be more.
Vote right and talk less.
We'll see you on the next one.